Wait, I think we're streaming on Twitter. Twitter, are you with me? Hello, thank you for watching. We have a big show today, first of the year. I'm going to set the bar real low. And we have Philip Rivers for like 30 minutes. We're going to bring you that entire conversation. Happy New Year's to you. And obviously, there's other big things going on around the league. I'll get you set. And we'll give you, I can't believe it's the last week of the year. So I got to hang out with Philip Rivers on New Year's Eve, and it is on YouTube, and you should go subscribe to the YouTube. It didn't. I need to show you it in full. It's one of those things. And Hamilton, Happy New Year to you, my friend.
Happy New Year.
2026. Let's effing go. Let's go. It was one of those things where we were like, oh, there's a chance to get Philip, and I think some people need to understand. Philip to me is my favorite quarterback to ever throw the ball. The way he throws it, his accuracy, the balls he has to throw it when he shouldn't to let his guys make a play. Sometimes it doesn't work out. The way he carries himself, the bolo tie, the lore. And when he hung it up, I remember I just didn't like how it ended. I didn't like I wanted like something a little more celebratory. He's polarizing for some weird way, for some reasons or whatever. I just love Philip. Whenever, when I met Drake May up in Foxborough, I couldn't ask him enough Philip questions. Like, I was jealous of him that he, knew Philip. I've never met him. I've never seen him in real life. And so the fact that I got to sit down with him, I thought I was going to get 10 minutes. We talked for 30. It meant a lot to me. It should mean a lot to you because you, the royal you, watching on Twitter or YouTube or FanDuel right now, it should mean a lot because, I think it's over. And it pisses me off. I don't understand it. We'll show you the interview, and then I can get into my thoughts on this 105 to pass Big Ben BS. I'm not a fan of it. But I think he's done everything the right way. I'm fascinated by him. I hope he rocks a bolo. I hope he gets in there in the second quarter. Take Riley Leonard out. If the Texans are up and they rest their starters, you got to get Philip in there to earn those 105 yards to move into top 7 all time. Because people want to say it doesn't matter. It matters. Hammy, it's going to matter when these overlords are deciding the Hall of Fame. It just will.
Yeah, every little thing will, especially for him, because his case is going to be, I think, one of the most debated cases, maybe
divisive, yeah.
Yeah, that we've seen in the last couple decades. So every little thing is going to matter. But yeah, I was just, not to spoil anything. I can't wait for people to see the full conversation. But you're right, you really need to see the full thing unedited in context because he's just so reflective, and it was his love letter to his fans almost a little bit, the way he really dove into his career and the game and
it was a whole thing. So we'll show you guys that. Please go to the YouTube and comment. I love the comments. I read all of them. Thank you guys. Thank you, by the way, to you and Chris and people who had to work on New Year's Eve. I missed my flight because of it, but I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna be like Philip. I loved every minute. I do the same stuff. So, but our editors and Leo, everyone had to work a little bit extra, and we got that up, and it's on YouTube. So please go give it some love, so we can give you guys some more great interviews as we count down to the playoffs here. Let's just do it. Week 18 is here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, everybody. And let's do it. If we look at the slate here, let's take a look. Saturday, Bucks 3-point faves over the Panthers. If Carolina wins, they'd be NFC South champs. If Tampa wins, they'd still need the Saints to beat the Falcons on Sunday to lock up the division title. Now Atlanta, a 3-point fave on FanDuel Sportsbook. Chris Olave has been ruled out. That is important to note, and you're welcome. The Seahawks, 1.5-point faves at San Francisco. George Kittle, Trent Williams, Ricky Pearsall, they are all questionable. I imagine they go for this one seed up for grabs. The Bears, 3-point faves over the Lions. They are on a mission to lock up the 2 seed. Wild to think the Lions are on the verge of finishing dead last in the NFC North. And the Ravens, 3.5-point favorites over the Steelers in Pittsburgh with the AFC North on the line. Lamar Jackson has been practicing. Yesterday, sounds like he's going to play. And it sounds like Mr. TJ Watt will be playing as well. Now, beyond just the obvious stakes that we just outlined for you, and go have some fun on FanDuel Sportsbook with that. With Week 18, there are some major implications for a few legends. I'm feeling a little nostalgic, of course. Philip might not play, probably won't play. And there's other guys that, You know, I always want everybody to leave the game the way they want. I'm always rooting for the players. I'm always saying, I hope you get your storybook ending. I hope the game doesn't take you out or leave you without a say. And so, of course, I'm thinking about Aaron Rodgers this week because it will mean, this week means more to him than it does anybody that's taken foot on the field. I don't care about incentives. I don't care about playoffs. This is a big one for Aaron that we should all really think about. And I was thinking about it the other day. It feels like no one has the sense that this team is capable of going on a run in the playoffs. And I'm like, why? Why if it's Aaron, right? And I have to be honest, I have not thought about this team that way as Steelers fans on social media, Twitter, watching it now. You'll tell me that, I'm sure. Is it so crazy to think that Aaron Rodgers, I repeat, Aaron, you know what, Rodgers, is it crazy to think that he can put this team on his back and go on one last storybook Disney run? I don't think this is crazy. You don't think this means more to him? What is motivation? What does like meaningful fulfillment do for a player at any age? Especially given this is his first shot at a playoff run in 4 years. 4 years, that's kind of crazy. We've seen enough from him physically this year to see and co-sign that he is still capable to do it. He'll get DK back if they can scratch their way to a win over the division rival Ravens with potentially likely Lamar on Sunday. If Watt is back, that's huge too, right? The defense should be good enough. Like, isn't that defense in that room saying, like, we can do this, we need to do this for Aaron? What is the value in the calculus of it being his last game? They're going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game. And loaded AFC field, I don't know how far they can go. Why are we writing off the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers? Like, what has he shown us to make us think that he can't do it? Can't he, like, dig deep for this one game? Doesn't he want it? Does he want it more than Lamar? Does he want it more than the Ravens? Is he done? This could be his last game. There's just like a whole thing to that, but wishing him the best. Always. Okay, speaking of a vet who has a chance to go on a run here, we have not talked enough as a society, as a sports society who loves the NFL. Brandon Graham, friend of the show, he retired, but he didn't. He told me that. You heard it here first, that he wasn't going to close the door, kept himself in shape. Voila, he lands back on the Eagles. He unretires mid-season. You heard it here first. For him to do that, to start repping in at a new position is insane. And then for him to have the impact he's having is to be rewarded and talked about. BG, you have 3 sacks over the last 3 weeks. 3! Playing less on the edge, by the way, and more at defensive tackle. He's like situationally DT. What is going on? He is showing he still has the quickness. Look at him. Okay, Brandon. He's blowing past guards. He's getting to the quarterback. And this has been such a game changer for this defense. The Eagles have completely retooled on the fly up front, and we need to give it its love right here. And I'm not saying Brandon Graham is the sole reason for this because we know Jalen Phillips has been a huge ad. Just the sexiest moves by the sexiest GM who makes them. Like, Mr. Roseman, you are doing your thing as usual. But just take a look at this. Since BG unretired, as you just saw, the Eagles have had the NFL's #1 scoring defense, allowing 9 fewer points a game than they were over the first 9 weeks. Can I see that full screen again? 25th. Take a look at that. 25th in fifth in sacks before Graham and Phillips. They're 4th since adding them. BG's been such a big part of this Eagles defensive turnaround. This defense, a huge reason why... I can't really picture, especially after that Rams hammy, I can't picture the Eagles not being in the title game. I don't think I can. I think they're going to the title game.
Yeah,
they could easily win the Super Bowl. What are their odds?
Yeah, they're Super Bowl odds right now. Let's take a look. But yeah, I mean, the way this defense is playing, they're 4th in Super Bowl odds right now, plus 950. And I'm with you. The way no one's talking about the defense, everybody just wants to talk about the offense and what's going on with this. What's going like?
Yeah, well, on their offense, Saquon's looking good. So I'm still taking that. If we're just talking about the offense, I think they're going to be just fine. And it is like, yeah, we talked about their defense last week, but we have not talked about the Eagles. And I did not do, like last year I said this is the most complete team in the NFL. They're going to the Super Bowl. I said that around week what?
Week 8 last year.
Week 8 last year. And I was right. And they went and they won and all of that. I haven't had that feeling But it's because Saquon was rolling the whole time, you know? And now we have Saquon looking Saquon-y. We've got experience, which I would think means something here. We've got a little like less confidence in the other juggernauts, like the Rams. I have a little less confidence in them. And I could just see it. I could see it with the defense. And BG, for him to be like looking like this right now, give me the peptides. Give me the peptides, BG. I need, spill the tea. JHC95, what stem cells are you getting? Where are we going to Tijuana? What are we doing? I'm going. I want in.
God.
No, nothing? Okay.
I don't even know how to follow that up. Yeah.
Lastly, how about Calais Campbell? And I don't know that he's done. Do we know if he's done him? We don't know.
He has said that he's undecided. That's where he's at going into this game. He's a couple days ago.
Well, we know that they're not playing in the playoffs, and they don't have much to hold on to. But this would be game 278 for him, regular season game. Calais takes on the Rams. We don't know if he's coming back per Matthew Hamilton, our insider, but 19 seasons at 40 years old. We just wanted to take a moment and say, friend of the show, Calais Campbell, if this is it, and I hope it's not, and I don't think that, you know, he'd have no problem coming back for another year because he's playing at this crazy level. I think that's why it's such a crazy decision he's going to be faced with. Look at him. He's 1 sack away from hitting 7.5 on the year. I didn't expect that. There you go, Calais. That not only triggers a $500,000 incentive, but it gives him the highest sack total that he's had in 7 years. This is a man who's taking the peptides. He just is. The amino acids, whatever it is, it's working for him. I'm not ready to say bye. I'm going to keep an extra close eye. I think he wraps it up in Arizona. I don't know if he'd play anywhere else. Actually, I don't know that he wouldn't because he looks so good. He has been a joy to watch. An impactful figure in this league over a career that has spanned 3 decades. And I appreciate every moment with him that we've gotten on the field, that I've gotten on this show. And I think we see him in Canton this year. Not this year, but, you know, this is his Canton resume. True one of one. Have we ever seen a player like him before? No. Have we seen one that probably will do that again? No. The media will be waiting for you, Calais. Keep playing. You look great out there. Versatile across the line at his size. That size, by the way, pretty much unprecedented for a D lineman, isn't it? He's disruptive. The leadership, the work off the field, the human the man is. Everything about him is Hall of Fame worthy. Walter Payton Man of the Year, top 25 all-time in sacks, second in TFLs, like you're seeing. All 2010s, I believe, team. Top 10 all-time in games played by a non-kicker or a quarterback. Longevity, does it mean something to you, Canton? Hall of Fame? Easily one of the easiest players to root for in the NFL. So, I don't know. I want to see a year 19, but let's take a moment for Calais Campbell and a truly extraordinary career that he's had so far. Short break here. Oh, here come the waterworks. Philip Rivers. Oh, are we ready? Philip, TV timeout, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube page, and if you're watching on Twitter, I think you get to enjoy the break. Kind of a schmoopy A-block.
There's something, there could be a psychological analysis done on, the choices there. For
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Just saying, there's a lot of focus on peptides and, you know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I just recognize it as a fellow 20-year-old, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be like that at that age, you know?
Yeah. And then we got Rivers coming up. It's just,
Stem cells stem cells are everywhere.
No.
Oh, Kirk Cousins, and is that, can I say that, or is that like gonna out him? Oh, Kirk Cousins and Antigua.
I think that was out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that bit. As we know, I kind of jumped around quarterback. Interesting. Yeah. Don't judge me.
No judgment, just an observation, you know.
I look fabulous. Thank you. I feel great, look great. I'm going to the gym today. Have you ever heard me say that?
January 2nd, going to the gym is, that's going to be.
Not a resolution.
Something.
I ran into an old trainer friend of mine, and he's gonna, thinks he's up for the challenge, he says, which I think is very miscalculated. And I'm actually like the best client for a trainer because I'm just like, hey, do you want to, how many clients have you had already? Oh, you're my 5th client. Oh, aren't you tired? Want to go get a coffee? Let's go talk. Let's go talk about fitness and health and like goals. Like, let's go. And then we end up like eating avocado toast. That's kind of, and then I'm paying them. And then I pick up the tab. Like, I'm historically, a great training client.
Sounds about right.
And then I'm always like,
Sounds
if I get like
exhausted,
yeah, if I get exhausted or like don't really, I'm just kind of like, let's talk. I have a lot of questions, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. Should we talk about Alex Earl and Tom Brady? Kidding. Happy New Year to all. Everyone living their best life.
How about New Year's Gronk and Eve, too?
Now,
what a job Gronk
I did
did.
not see that. I knew he doesn't love you. I hope this is a lesson to you of like who I would say, Harrison. It would be top of mind. I would never do you dirty like that. He doesn't care about you. And you're over here slanging points to him. just disgustingly. And he doesn't even care about you enough, you know?
Yeah, it stung a little.
Okay,
I didn't watch till
producing. 4.
I didn't watch until 4 a.m., so I don't know if he snuck it in there right at the end, but...
Back on the show. This is Up and Adams. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Here is what I do every week, and I'm pretty good at it. These are the guys who will pow, 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 score touchdowns. This week, last week of the regular season, I wanted to focus on value. Okay, you spent you dished out like $200 to eat like cold egg rolls at the buffet. Are people still doing that on New Year's? You pay like $150 and get a buffet? No, very 2006, but that's okay. How about Ramondre Stevenson against the Dolphins? Hard to choose between him and Travion. Ramondre, though, he has scored 3 times in the last 2 games. I like the value, plus 135. Next, FanDuel Sportsbook, go there. How about DJ Moore? Up against the banged-up Lions secondary, plus 150? 50? Come on. What happened, with the Lions in the passing game? Let's go. DJ Moore, he'll be great. Everyone says he's like a little kid in that locker room. Love that. I'm going to go to this game, this wildcard game, if they get it against the Packers. Finally, who could that be? Who could that be? Guy who, is tough and runs like a running back. He's a wide receiver. Can I see who it is? Nico Collins. I like this. Nobody's given up more catches and yards to wide receivers in the Colts the last 5 weeks. Nico heating up. Love him. Love CJ. Really like this Texans team. Plus 155. Short break here. We will be back, and I will bring you my talk with my favorite quarterback all time. Sorry, Tom Brady. We'll be back with Phillip Rivers after this.
I think Tom doesn't need many. Yeah, sorries right now.
I think he's having a bad morning, that Tom. Okay, let's see. What else we got going on? I'm trying to think. That's as far as week 18, we did incentives, right? Or we did that with Gronk. Is there any incentive that you think? Do we still have that incentive full screen, Cal, back there? That Core Chain made? Way to get the Super Bowl odds up quick. Thank you, guys. So this is the TV break
Chain's a
on the
wizard.
show,
I'm sure
people.
he can, not to put the pressure on him, but I'm sure he could pull it up. There we go. Look at that.
Okay. Calais Campbell needs 1 for we pointed that one out. We got it. Get Keenan Allen that money. Get Keenan Allen that money. He came back. He needs 6. Who do they have?
6 catches. They have the Broncos.
Is he going to
Justin
play?
Herbert. I don't know if they've said if he's playing yet or not. They said they're going to rest some starters. Yeah.
He's not getting that.
That's tough.
But I hope you do, Keenan. I hope something happens and you have to get that.
You got to think Sam Darnold's going to get that $500K.
Yeah. Or 3 passing touchdowns.
50.
150.
Yeah. So it's
Sam's gonna get
$500K
that.
for each of them.
Congrats, Sam. Sam once told me that Fat Sal's is the best place to eat in LA before I moved here, and he was wrong. Okay, I like that. What happened in college? I watched the Texans. I watched Texas. Are you impressed?
Yeah.
Texas, Michigan. I watched that. Sark, congratulations to you. Right?
Yeah. So you watched that, but not the playoff games.
It was the citrus something.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about I think it would shock people. Like, shock people how little I know about. Like, if I were to think, like, like, hockey, golf, F, marry, kill, hockey, golf, and college football. There's just too much to know in college football.
Did you see Michael Irvin?
But I saw Arch Manning be like, what did Michael Irvin do? No, but I was in a lot of mentions because of that fight. And so everyone's like, come get your boy. What did he do?
Oh my God.
Did they win?
He was just very excited. Yeah, Miami won.
Okay.
They beat Ohio State.
Okay.
And he was shirtless. The belt was off. It was quite the celebration, as we would expect from Michael.
I was going to say, what else is new? I'm not even batting an eye at that. Did he wear jeans in St. Bart's? Because that would be alarming. Anyway. Welcome back to Up and Adams. It was a real pleasure, a real canon event in my life to get some time with an absolute legend, to archive some words from the icon Philip Rivers. We talked past, present, future. We talked AFC. We talked Colts next chapter, joining the media. Here it is. What would this man say, this young man, if you told him he'd be coming back to the NFL after 5 years away as a grandfather at 44?
I'm not sure what he'd say. He'd probably first say, "What are you doing?" And then I haven't changed too much. I have changed. I've aged and changed in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, I think he would say, "Yeah, about what I expected." So,
thank you for coming back to the NFL. It has been, as a fan of yours, a lifelong fan, like so inspiring, so incredible, a great run. Are you where your feet are? Are you being retrospective? Are you looking at the future? What is this like?
Yeah, it's been a real, I've just been overwhelmed with gratitude, really. I wish I had a more diverse word, but I think that sums it up most, is just thankful. That first Wednesday out there on the practice field, I was like, man, this is unbelievable. Like, you forget how much you love Wednesday practice. The first blitz meeting, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I love these meetings, so I've just been really trying to take it a meeting at a time, a practice at a time, a day at a time. And then once you got in the flow, I feel like once we got, after that first game, you kind of got in a little more of a rhythm. It almost felt normal again the last couple of weeks. And then, the only regret I have is us not being able to help us, get in the postseason and keep it going. But other than that, it's been a blast. And this week, being able to, pull for Riley and be there to support him. And, it's crazy now because, my current hometown, my new hometown where I live now, I live 5 minutes from him, from where he grew up. And,
oh, really?
And he's big time in Fairhope. Riley Leonard's name carries a lot more weight than mine in Fairhope. So I don't know if that's true. You are 105 yards from passing Ben Roethlisberger to move into 7th all time. That, as a fan of yours, it's important to me. How does that not? How are we not going to do that? I don't believe it. I know. Well, you may not believe this, but that would have been another reason for me not to do it. Not to try to push to play, just because it's like, man, you had to come back after 5 years at 44 and then play in the last game of the year after they've been eliminated to get to Roethlisberger. And it's like, no, it would almost need an asterisk beside it. That wasn't the reason why I'm not doing it, but that would have been on the list of reasons for me to say, I'm not. I've said all month or 3 weeks that and I am thankful, and there's been a lot of positive attention and hopefully some impact, for a lot of people. But that wasn't my motivation. It was always with the team in mind, of feeling like, man, maybe I can help, give them a chance. And then I feel like you flip it the last week, and it's like, it wasn't about the team. It was about you all this time. So
no, I don't think anybody thinks that. And I think every number. Listen, you're making it harder on people like me who are making these Hall of Fame cases for you over the next 5. And you could have been at the top of that crazy draft class.
Yeah, whether it happens or when it happens, it won't come down to that 100 yards. I can assure you.
Well, you're going to be there. And so I'd like to know, in Canton at some point, you'll be on stage. I think I probably thought about this, what is going to be an iconic speech, maybe more than you have. When you look back at this chapter, these 3 weeks, what do you know you'll talk about in that speech?
I think it'll, which will probably be part of the speech. We're talking about a what if here.
Hypothetical speech. Yep.
We are, but I think just the love to play. I mean, I just the chance to play, and I was able to. I talked to a handful of people, but Frank Reich was among the people I talked to on that Tuesday morning before I decided. And there was a period of time that morning where I was about to go to the airport and go home, golly, I thought I was done with the emotions, but and I went through all the reasons to play. And then I went through all the reasons not to play, and kind of said, shoot, Frank, the easy thing to do to avoid all the what ifs is to go home. I mean, everything's going good. I mean, I wasn't banking on another opportunity to play. I was at peace with how everything had gone. And then I talked about the reasons to play because I love to compete, a team that wants you, all those things. And then so I asked Frank, so having said all that, Frank, why do it? And he said, because you can. And that just stuck with me. And I was like, you're dang right I can. You know what I mean? And that kind of pushed me over the edge, I guess. So it was just one of those deals where, I think there was fear involved and there was doubt, but it was justified doubt. You hadn't played in 1,800 days. You're not in the shape you were in. Once we're in, you're older. You haven't thrown to moving targets. You're about to go play against the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Jaguars, and potentially the Houston Texans and try to go get in the playoffs. And so the doubt, I think, was justified. And once I was able to be okay with that doubt is not a lack of confidence. It was just real, and it was okay. And then I had to push myself to the point of being okay with the results. And if I popped a calf in the first quarter of the Seahawks game, how humiliating that would have been. But I was all right with it. Like, well, if that happens, then I'll be home. I'll be home the following Monday. But if we go make a run, that'll be great. So I say that to say the results have been, we've been 0-3, and I haven't been able to get us, help us get to where we wanted to go. But I have no regrets in doing it. I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude and thankfulness, and the support has been awesome. My family, my wife were awesome, sacrificing, moving to Indy for 2 weeks and moving Christmas up here. And, brother came to every game, and I don't know. So it's been awesome. It's been a little gift that I wasn't expecting, nor did I need, but it fell in my lap, and shoot, I know I'll remember it forever.
Philip, I hope you're feeling the love from everybody, not just your family, but it's really quite inspiring. And dare I say, you will now be this poster man for these OG quarterbacks coming back. You know that you will be responsible for Aaron Rodgers at some point, 2031, saying, yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do this. Are you happy with that? Would you co-sign those kind of moves?
Well, the thing I don't know if that'll be the case, but I am thankful. That was not even on my radar for the impact that it could have, and some of these, some of the positive things I've seen my mom shared with me and all. But I am thankful for that, because I think I look back over my career and as mistakes that I made, and I think back to a fumbled snap in Kansas City on Halloween night that we were running out the clock, and how
I remember
humiliating that was. We're running out the clock to kick a field goal, and we end up losing, and I that kind of hung over me for a long time. I mean, there was lots of prayer and like positive, like, I got to quit worrying about, is that going to happen again? So I say that to just say, as I've grown older, I hope the one thing that maybe it teaches too is that we get so caught up in the results, like, well, what if it doesn't go good? Well, what if it doesn't? Then you'll handle that then. It's like, well, what if you go out there and throw 3 picks in every game and you can't move and you get hurt? Well, then I'll deal with that then. You know what I mean? So I think we get so caught up. I think the fear comes from that lack of, well, what if it doesn't go how we want it to go? And we don't get that liberty to know how things are going to go, right? A business endeavor or a football game, you have to line up and play. That's the only way you can find out. And then if you don't do good, then deal with it, And if it goes good, then you deal with that, and you still got to get right back. And, that's the whole Nuke Cheppy, motto is now we begin. We're always beginning again. You do something good, well, all right, we got to begin again. You do something bad, you begin again. It's a never-ending beginning. And it's all about that process, as you've heard so many coaches in sports say, and it's true. But we do want to win. It is results-based business, but you just can't let that cripple you, I guess, cripple your mindset, or what will somebody think? I think that too often, right? People in the spotlight can think that. I've thought that, what is somebody going to think if I say this, or what's somebody going to think if you do that? It's like, well, golly, that you can't let that rule your whole life. So
it's a real negotiation with fear and conquering it, which I know wasn't the result you wanted, but I got to tell you, Philip, that's why I'm joking about this Aaron Rodgers coming back thing eventually. Like, you didn't make it look that hard.
Well,
hear me out. You're airing it out, Philip, all over the freaking place. You're putting your team in the best position to win. The downfield strikes, my friend, to Alec Pierce against the Niners. The beautiful touch on that touchdown to Mo Alley Cox last Sunday. Like, you didn't make it look that hard. And everybody's talking to me about how defenses are faster and more complicated than ever. Is that true? How much truth is there to that?
Well, I'll say this. You mentioned a guy like Aaron Rodgers. He would be one that could do it, and he may just keep going. You obviously saw Tom Brady do it till past this age as well, because it is a game where if you can be a Josh Allen, and I'll end up leaving guys out, but some of the great ones that we're seeing right now, if you can, because he can do it from the pocket and can run, obviously an unbelievable runner, which I never was, but you still, I think you can function. If you can, because it's from the neck up, a lot of it from the neck up, and understanding and being able to process quickly and throw it accurate. And, I would like to think I'm going to still be, and I missed some that I usually don't miss over these last few games, but I'd like to think you're going to still be able to be accurate. I've been accurate my whole life for the most part, so you're not just going to completely lose that. So about defenses, I mean, first of all, they're really good. Of course, the Rams, Stafford had an unbelievable outing. A few weeks later, we went for 120 yards, and then he goes for 400 and something, a few weeks later. But the defenses are really good that we've played. But I think it's probably making a little more of it than it is. I
wanted you to say that.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They are good, and they have responded in a lot of ways to not maybe give things away as it once was, maybe a little easier. The disguises and the complexity of the schemes, maybe a little bit, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's a lot of what I remembered was happening out there in most part of these games, and that's considering I threw an interception in every game and it didn't all go great, but it was it was kind of I felt quite at home for the most part after that first game, getting those first game butterflies out of my system.
So now what? You can still chuck it, so I don't want to hear this. I'm done, because you can still chuck it.
I am.
You're done?
I am.
No, I'm not ready for that. No.
I got a son that'll be a senior, and that St. Michael football team ready to go. We've gotten beat in the semifinals 2 years in a row, so it'll be his senior year, and looking forward to my second son will be a ninth grader, so they'll be on the same team together. So it'll be fun to get back. The boys back home at the school have been real excited. A lot of them came to the game last week, made the 11-hour trip up, and it's been it'll be fun. I think it'll kickstart our off-season program, to say the least. Maybe some things I say to them, they'll take a little more serious now that I was just out there playing a few weeks ago.
How do you know you're done?
Well, I knew I was done in 2020.
Okay, but hold on then. You weren't. So I don't know if I should believe you now.
Well, I think this was just everything just lined up just right, because, I said to someone, if I just made up a team, I don't mean the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings, but had someone like that called, there was no chance, because again, it was a place I'd been, a team I was familiar with, the offense was exactly the same, a coach I knew. It was all those things. Our football season was over. It was all those things just made it the kind of the perfect storm. Because I said, if one of those teams called, it'd be no way. I'd kind of laugh and say, y'all crazy. So I don't see it being there. My mom asked me the same question. She was like, so just hypothetical, if someone wanted you to play next year, would you consider it? And I was like, no.
But let's say Matthew Stafford wins a Super Bowl, wins his second one, goes off. The Rams are a nice, perfect little position. No?
Nah.
You would say no?
Yeah, I'm back to the sideline. This was a fun 3-week blurb, but that nobody saw coming, including myself, and that'll be it.
You have kids in all ranges. I can't imagine how cool that must have been to have the one that's ninth grade, you said? Even ninth grade?
Yeah.
The sixth, to have them kind of get to see you, not YouTube, not whatever, that must have been pretty freaking cool.
It was awesome. We kind of break our children up into tiers. You have to, it's funny because our girls don't like it because we said the big girls, and it's like, Dad, you're going to have to stop referring to us as the big girls.
At some point, yeah.
Our older girls, my oldest is married and has a 1-year-old, and my second oldest is married and has a baby on the way. And so for them, they were like, the emoji of the skull kind of exploding. That was what that's what they were using, because they're like, this is like, it can't be real. Cause it was pretty much their whole childhood. Right. So 5 years ago, my oldest was 18, 18, 16 and 15. So my 3 older girls, it was their whole childhood. And then my middle ones, which is those 2 boys and a daughter in between them, they were 17, almost 16 and 14. My boys were a little more nervous. They were excited, but they were a little more nervous because they wanted Dad to do good, because they play and they know what it feels like. And my oldest was like, Dad, what if you can't? I mean, he was a little nervous. And then my younger ones, my 2-year-old doesn't know anything yet, but my 6, 10, and 12, those 3 girls were the most fired up. They were the most fired up because they were like, Dad, you're playing again. Because they've seen the YouTube videos. My 6-year-old actually asked me, it was crazy, a month ago. She said, Dad, why don't you play anymore?
Before all of this?
Oh, yeah. It was like, about a month or so ago, like, Dad, why don't you play anymore? Because they had seen a couple of clips on YouTube or something. And I said, babe, Dad doesn't play anymore. The best you're going to get is Dad coaching. But I used to play. I used to play. And so for her, to put on, it could have been any team, right? But to put on Colts gear and come to the game and cheer for Dad was like, this is awesome. So it's been special. And I mentioned Tiffany earlier. She was unbelievable through it all, because she was nervous, as you would expect. She was didn't want to be hurt. She was like, golly. Her only promise I had to make her was, if it's your head, you'll come out. If you hurt your head, you'll come out, because I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to that, not wanting to come out of the game. But I said, absolutely, if it's my head, I'll come out. Anything else, I'll be all right. I got a lifetime to heal. So.
She's amazing. Your entire I've been asking questions on Twitter all day of what to ask you, and everybody just wants you to be stubborn and keep the door open. What if Andy Reid called you and said, we need somebody to start the season because Patrick's not ready yet? You can say no to that.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, fine.
I can, because I got a high school team. I got a high school team that it's like that. That game's got to be more important, and that's even what I thought in 21 and 22. The 2 years I was out, and I was at peace being done, but I still kind of was like, well, if our football season's over and somebody needs somebody, I'm like, I've
been told by several people that you, even at Antonio Gates Hall of Fame, that you were like very like that you might be able to be lured back.
Yeah, I just got through a conversation with Jack Doyle, just a podcast here, who's a great teammate in 2020, and. There's so many things that I don't know. It's just been so awesome being a teammate again. I mentioned those blitz meetings, being in the huddle, going through a cadence, changing a play. The game within the game is just, I don't know. And that's what Tiffany tells me too. She's like, well, you're going to have that when you're 60. You're going to play when you're 60. I'm like, no. And she was like, that can't be the only reason you go back, because you have passion for it, because I don't see you losing that anytime soon. So, but that's all right. I get to do it on the sideline with a bunch of boys that love the game for all the right reasons. And, the purest level of football is at a high school level. And it's been fun seeing those guys get better and really, try to teach them life lessons from the game, because I've learned a lot about life from this game. I mean, I think I love the game itself, but I think I've learned way more about, how to be a man from being in the game than, I've gotten a lot out of it. And so that's our motto at the high school. I say our motto just for our coaches is our mission is that these boys are better men for having been in the program. And that's first. And yes, let's go win a state championship, and we're going to try to win, and we're going to try to score 50 every game, and all those things exist. But let's make sure we don't lose sight of that, because for most of our guys, we have some that are going to play college football and you pull for them to play beyond. But for most of our guys, it's it. after high school, it's it. Their last high school football game was the last time they'll ever put on a helmet. So if we're only teaching them football, then we're really missing out. Like we're in the wrong business at high school level. So, but hopefully when they're 25, they go, yeah, I remember those coaches telling us that. And I remember learning that when I was playing. And it's like, yes, that's what you hope you're able to give these guys.
I hope they learn those lessons, but I do hope they look at your highlights. I have to get you to talk me through my favorite Phillip Rivers moment. Memory lane. Let's do it. It is 2018. You, Chiefs, Arrowhead, 4th down, Travis Benjamin. Can you just talk me through that? The touchdown to Mike Williams going for 2, like the best Phillip Rivers moment ever.
Yeah, I remember that drive like yesterday. It was that was probably my favorite, one of my favorite games, if not favorite all time. Yeah, we had 4th down, and so we had 4 verticals on, and Gates and Travis Benjamin are both going to have to kind of lean and bend in there. And Gates was matched up on Sorensen, and Gates certainly every matchup with Gates is favorable for Gates. I mean, it's just like Gates is going to win versus anyone. But Sorensen was just crafty enough where I was just a little nervous. He was just going to sit in there and hunker down on the inside, and Travis was in the slot. He's very rarely in the slot. He's normally an outside receiver, but I was like, all right, here we go. I'm going to take my drop hitch and throw it, and it's 4th down, and this is it. And Travis got his head around just at the right time and was able to get that completion. We moved our way in there. I thought I had a roughing the passer, that the slow-mo on the replay was absolutely roughing the passer that we didn't get called. And I take my helmet off, and I'm going crazy. I think it was Walt Anderson was the ref, who I love Walt, but and then we get down in there and score with a back shoulder to Mike, and immediately, Anthony Lynn and the whole sideline, it's like, we're going for 2,
Crazy.
to win it. So we had ran the play we scored in the 2-point conversion. We had ran earlier to the other side with a different motion. And so we're discussing quickly what we're going to call. And I remember telling Wiz and these guys were talking through it. I was like, hey, let's just run it to the other side and let's change the motion. It'll hide it. And I'm trying to explain all that I want. And Wiz is like, yeah, just go do it. Go do it. It seems like you got it pretty wired.
You're okay.
And they busted the coverage, and there's Mike Williams, and it's just like that, rolling right just a little bit, and it was like almost in slow-mo, like, just don't mess this up. You can't miss it, right? You're like throwing it in the ocean. I remember there being so many clips. There's still so many clips of Charger fans' reactions, to that last play, from restaurants to somebody in the upper deck. It was like somebody compiled a big, collage of all those videos, and it was
the perfect call, Phillip. It was Phillip, awesome. It hurts. That was my absolute favorite moment.
It was fun.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was fun. Hey, what's with you in media? What's it going to take?
I don't know.
Phillip, you can do it around coaching. You can do it on your own schedule. I have tried to reach out to your representation. Like, what does he want to do? Get him on a desk in the booth. What's your relationship with that?
Yeah, I've not ruled it out. But I've just, every opportunity that's been close to coming or had come up, it just hadn't felt right. And I just, so yeah, I haven't completely ruled it out. The one thing that I do think I would enjoy it. I just don't know. The one thing that I've just loved since I was however old playing this game and being now as a coach is I've been able to have some impact on the score. And for me, it's like, yeah, all right, you might be good at it, talking about it. It's like, but I have nothing to do with the outcome of this game. It's like, so, but like you said,
you want to coach? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, that's why I love coaching, as I'm saying. So, because I feel like, yeah, I'm not playing the game; it's about the boys, but you have an impact in the score. You are involved in the game. So, I don't know. I'm not ruling it out. Like you said,
let's get you some more offers here. I know the offers that you've gotten. I've at least a couple. I know, and I'm like, he passed on that. He doesn't want to do that. Why doesn't he want to do that? And I just hope. I'm glad to hear that you have not scratched that itch yet, and that might be something. No,
I definitely wouldn't rule it out. I think the other part for me early on, like as soon as I stopped playing, was, you go on the road for, whatever, a 20-week season, a couple preseason games. You go on the road for 9 weeks a year, roughly 9 or 10 weeks. And then now it potentially is going to be 20 straight weekends you're gone. And I was like, I just got out of that. Now I'm about to double the travel. And so.
And they don't affect the score, so it's just not in the car. Yeah. But you could do some recruiting for the boys, at the school. I feel like when you're on there, right? For St. Michael's, there could be,
It would be good free pub for the school for sure.
Go Cardinals. Let's do it. I want to ask you just a couple pundit questions here. Daniel Jones, you got there. The number thing happened. You got his blessing. I'm sure you've been a great influence on him. He's healing up. What do you think, being in that building? What do you think the Colts should do with him?
Well, I hope and think that they should bring him back. I mean, he's attacking this rehab. I tell you what, he's been there every day. He's been in every quarterback meeting. He's been, he's doing all his rehab stuff, which I know early on for an Achilles isn't a lot, right? But he's on it, and he was having just such an unbelievable year. And now being around him, I didn't really know him, certainly just watching him from afar, but. He's just the guys all love him and respect him, and he seems like a great teammate. He's been great, in the quarterback room, just with little things that I've come up and said, hey, what is this? Little things that have come up over the last few weeks. So, no, I think he's going to get back healthy and hopefully he picks up where he left off. I mean, he was playing unbelievable, then gets the broke leg. And he's out there battling on a broken leg for 3 weeks. And that was starting to heal up. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn for him. Things he's told me, he's like, man, it was starting to feel good again. And then, that happens in Jacksonville with his Achilles. So I think he'll pick right back up where he left off. And shoot, if he does that, he's a guy that he should be under center here next year, in my opinion.
Two quick ones. Who are you rooting harder for now that the Colts are eliminated? The Chargers, who are in your heart, or Drake May, who loves and knows you?
I'm pulling for the Chargers. I'm definitely pulling for the Chargers. I've been it's been awesome to see what Drake's done this year. Drake and Bo both. Drake and Bo, I got to be around a little bit that pre-draft, and both of them, you look at it, and both these guys have been on fire here in year 2, which is impressive. And to say I knew they were going to be would not be fair to say, right, post being around them. But I remember saying both those guys, like, they're both the real deal. You just knew from not just them throwing, right? Because I think sometimes you can get too caught up in a throwing session, routes on air. It's like, I hope they look good in routes on air. There's no defense. But the way they talked about football, the composure they had, all that comes with it, their background, right? But Drake having all his older brothers, that beat him up kind of growing up, and were great athletes. And then, Bo, the path he went through at Auburn to Oregon, and just how much he could just tell how his mindset was just so good. So, yeah, I do pull for quarterbacks. You pull for those guys that you got to meet. So those Bo and Drake, both will be easy to pull for, but I'll be pulling for the Chargers like crazy. And then I'll be pulling for Riley like crazy on Sunday. I haven't gotten to know him kind of when he was at Notre Dame. We trained some of his guys for a few days in like a mini camp down there in Alabama. And then his pre-draft stuff, I was a small part of it. And then now here we are. When I first got here, I was like, who would have thought this, Riley, we're teammates, like what in the world?
Yeah.
And so he's been great too. He's been great because, again, you look at a guy like himself, right? He's like, man, maybe I'm about to get an opportunity. certainly his buddy Daniel, those two guys are close.
100%.
He doesn't want to get the opportunity that way, but he's about to get one. And then here, 44-year-old Rivers shows up. And it's like, dang, but he's been unreal in the meeting room, studying, preparing. And I want to reciprocate that for him this week the best I can in his first start. And then I feel like that just closes everything out, the way it should be done. And then I'll be right back to 8th period PE on Tuesday.
Last one for you. Maybe my most important question. What happened to the bolo tie?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it had its run.
Philip did it? I don't know. I don't know if we can close this actual chapter without the bolo. Maybe week 18 bolo. I'm just saying.
I'd have to find my way to a Western store here in Indy before Saturday. But yeah, the bolo was fun. And that started as been well documented. Yeah. It started as a little bit of a rebellion to Mike McCoy.
Yes.
And I love Mike, but Mike was like suit and tie on the road, and I was like, what?
I know.
On the road. And Charlie Whitehurst deserves some credit for this too, because he was like, hey, you can wear a bolo tie, And I was like, what is that? So.
Oh, I don't know. Charlie got some love for that. That's interesting.
Charlie was kind of the one that kind of like pushed me over the edge. And so I go to this, Western store, Boot Barn or whatever in San Diego, and buy every bolo they had and started just changing it up.
I would just put it on the table.
My wife wasn't a big fan, but.
It would, the crowd would go, I mean, just the world would go crazy if you did a bolo. And just saying, you're there to support Riley. Also, let's just leave the door open to this 105 yards. Just putting it out there. Why let Big Ben have that? You know, why let him have that? You came back, you did your thing. I'm just leaving it out there. Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you've meant to the game. I'm not prepared for this goodbye, so I'm not going to do it. We're just going to leave the door open in any way. And please get in the media some way.
I hear you. All doors will remain open because this one, right? I couldn't have seen this coming, and I just chose to. A door opens, you can choose to walk through it. So yeah, I won't. Never. I guess you never say never to anything. Proof of that after 5 years out. So
you're proof of that, and you're inspiring, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Kay.
What did he just do there at the end, Matt? Did he just reverse Uno card me and leaves the door open for what? What are we talking about here?
I mean, I took that to mean he's coming back. There's a chance. Let's go.
No, right? I think you're just being nice. He's done.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
Because he's emotional, all these things. I will say, I think this is what, there's a lot of reasons like I like Philip. And I also like recognize parts of myself in like the way he is, and you got to stop that, Philip. It's not a good place to be. Like for instance, like his, what I assume is like dignity and integrity to him. Like he thinks that if he earns these 105 yards, there's some like asterisks to them. Like it doesn't really matter. Like, no. Like you would earn more so than when you were 25. You would earn those yards in a big way. Big Ben, why don't you get your ass off the couch and throw a couple yards then? Could you do it? Probably not. Maybe you could. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it is not the right thinking for Philip.
Yeah,
Philip he has some sort of like I don't know if the word is ego, some sort of pride thing, or like how he's being seen, or like what the real game. No. Like you need the yards, my friend. Like you need the 105. He must be beat up. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he can move.
And
much.
nobody. Yeah, and no one's gonna look at it like everybody knows why he came back. It was to try to help the Colts get into the playoffs. Nobody's gonna look at it like, oh, he just came back to pass Ben and like try to take that away from him. I don't think anybody would look at that and try to take it away.
Like those yards are even cooler. He's like, I guess it's trying to say like I didn't come back for the yards, but like slam dunk, rules of the game. Like it's not like he needs to do it. I don't think maybe he also isn't like understanding how much it will matter. You don't have a ring, Philip. I love you, but you don't have a ring. You need to be, if you pass Big Ben, then you are the winningest quarterback in that category from your draft class, which matters. I didn't ask him with the insurance thing. I meant to. It was in my notes to be like, did you come back for insurance? I don't know why I didn't ask it. I think I forgot about it. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot in there to get to.
But you text.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you because they're talking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Derek. I don't hear what you said, Ham. But I don't know why I didn't ask that. Why did you text me to talk about that right now? Was that something I missed?
Oh no, you just asked me what we had missed.
Oh no. What did we miss from talking about it earlier in the A block? Sorry. My bad. But let's take a look really quick, just while we're here. Look at his resume. 8th all-time passing yard. 7th is better. I think you should be 7th, but even so, he's ahead of guys like Marino and Elway and Eli. 6th all-time in passing touchdowns, ahead of Montana, Unitas, Big Ben. 8-time Pro Bowler. By the way, that's more than Troy Aikman and Steve Young and Roger Staubach, whose name I can never say right. He was Comeback Player of the Year. Lots of goodies here for Canton to chew on. We'll be back after this, and I get you guys some last thoughts before the season finale. I can't freaking talk. I'm getting crazy texts. I don't know why I'm getting so many crazy texts. 28 seconds. So what are we doing? We're going to do the playoffs, the Packers thing?
Yeah, we have that little Bears thing.
So tell me again, because I'm going to have to, now I got excited and I like shot texts out that I'm like taking everybody to the game. So, what's Mama in store for? What's going on? How does this work? By the way, congrats to Jordan Love and Ronica.
Yes.
They're going to make they have made the cutest little nugget. She's pregnant. Pookie this, Pookie that. Obsessed. Congratulations to them. Love that for them. That's been going on for, she was preggers when he came on the show. And he didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I guessed that she was pregnant too. I'm great at that.
I think you did. You did say that. Yeah.
Why did I say that? Did I see something?
I don't know. I think it was just like the vibe or the way he was talking.
I'm great.
You just had a feeling.
I'm never wrong about that. Anyway, I told you that about Haley too.
Yeah.
Josh's wife.
Yeah.
Okay. We will do this. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know. We somehow streamed on Twitter successfully, I believe.
We did it.
But do me a favor, guys. Go subscribe to the YouTube and go put a like onto the Colts interview with Philip Rivers. Please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay. This is what Hamilton scripted in my script. There's something I noticed over on FanDuel Sports. The jig is up. You think I noticed something on FanDuel Sportsbook? Okay. No, it's great. Leave it there.
It is cool, yeah. We got all the almost all of the potential playoff matchups up there right now. The one that curiously isn't Patriots-Bills. There's no odds for a potential Patriots-Bills meeting. Don't know why.
That didn't go very well for Gronk. That take.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Hamilton noticed this on FanDuel Sportsbook last night and texted me about it. So here, take a look. It's the early lines for each potential wild card matchup. And here's what we noticed. If the Bears beat the Lions this weekend, they host the Packers. Green Bay currently favored by 1.5 in that scenario. If the Bears lose and fall to the 3 seed, they could potentially draw the Rams. They would be 4.5-point underdogs against LA. And if they lose to Detroit on Sunday, they could draw San Francisco and they'd be 1.5 faves in that one. Dogs in that one. Oops.